Welcome everybody. Thanks for joining me. I have an important question for you. Do you often have negative thoughts about yourself? Things like, I'm not good enough, I can't do it, life is too hard. Do you often feel vulnerable in life and feel you can't handle particular life situations? Well, the exciting news for you is this is the first video in a video series on self-love, where I'm going to help you understand how to love yourself so that you won't have those negative thoughts and you will be able to handle life situations from your inner power of yourself. My name is Paul Statton. I'm the founder of the Lighthouse for the Soul. My mission is to shine light on people's journeys so they can really see where they are and see where they're going in their life. So in this particular video series on self-love, I'm going to focus on two important aspects. Firstly, why is self-love important? Because if we don't know the why it's important, then we won't be motivated to love ourselves. And secondly, it's, well, how do I love myself? Because as a healing coach for the last 20 years, I've had a lot of people come to me and ask, well, Paul, how do I love myself? So I realise a lot of people just don't know how to do it. So in a way, this series is a bit like a jigsaw, and each week I'm going to give you a video on a particular aspect of self-love. It's like putting another piece of the jigsaw together until you have all the pieces together. You'll see the big, beautiful picture of how to love yourself. So in this particular video, it's the first one in the series, I'm going to talk a lot more about self-love, what it is, why it's important, so you get a good overview of what it is. At the end of the video, which I'll do every week, I'm going to give you a tip, a strategy of how you can love yourself. So you'll be able to go away in life and practically know how to love yourself. So let's talk about the problem of why people don't love themselves. Because what I've found is, with many clients, is that many clients don't love themselves. I've helped a lot of people become facilitators of healing, and I've realised that most people don't love themselves, and until they can love themselves, they can't actually help other people. So why do people not love themselves? So by not loving themselves, it really comes from a lot of factors about how they interact with their environment. And quite often it comes from a low self-worth. And this quite often comes from judgment to them when they're younger, judgment when they're growing up. The people are putting them down and they start believing inside themselves, well, maybe I'm not good enough and maybe I can't handle life. Secondly, there's a lot of people looking for acceptance in life, and what they do is to fit into society, they sacrifice themselves because they've got to feel they've got to be part of society and they've got to fit in to the consensus reality. There's a lot of people, they do feel a bit weird about the world, like I did when I was growing up. Like I felt a bit like Harry Potter growing up in a muggle's world, realising I had really magical abilities, but not really quite sure knowing how to express them in the world, where I felt other people weren't like that. So I, like many other people, sacrificed myself in my life to try and fit in, to be accepted by other people. Because what I've found working with a lot of clients is, a lot of clients have this fear that when they're younger, if they don't fit in, then they'll be punished. And so what happens then is, I call it the lifeline of acceptability, that people have this lifeline of how they fit into the world. And it starts off by being a good little boy or good little girl when they're younger, so they don't get punished by the family. And then when they get into teenagehood, they become cool. They try and fit into a group of people. But it's not really being who they are. And then when they become an adult, it's actually about being a nice person, which is not rocking the boat. You know, you quite often hear people say, oh, he's a good person. Well, to me, it's about being authentic. It's about being who you really are in the world. So that's really the lifeline of people, and people living that lifeline of acceptability, they then hit midlife and they suddenly realise, well, they haven't been who they are, and and they've been sad and unhappy. They haven't fitted into the world really, even though they've tried to. So what are some of the impacts of not loving yourself? Because this is important as to why loving yourself is important. Well, firstly, if you're not really loving yourself, it's going to really affect your heart, because it means you're going to feel sad that if you don't really love yourself, you can't really be who you are, can't really express who you are in the world, then it means that you're going to be sad. And I know that because I felt sad a lot of time in my life because I felt I had to sacrifice myself to fit into the world. Secondly is quite often people angry with the world, because it's like they blame the world because why isn't the world accepting me? Why can't I say what I would like to say? Why can't I be who I want to be? So quite often these people blame life, they blame people around them. And in this video series I'm going to show you how you can release a lot of these perceptions of blaming people and blaming life, and about really taking responsibility for who you are. So it's going to help you release a lot of these adverse energies you've got around people and about life. The next aspect of why self-love is important, it affects your health. Because if you don't love yourself, well, it takes a lot of energy to block yourself. And blocking a lot of energy into your body, you're going to create a lot of illness. And people will be have low vitality, and they'll tend to create a lot of health issues in their life because they're not being who they are. Nextly is about, if you're not expressing who you are, because you don't love yourself, then you're not really going to share your message with the world. The reason you've come here, the reason you've come to the planet, to help make a difference in the world. So by not being who you are, sharing yourself, loving who you are, you're not going to go out to the world and share your message, that unique gift of awareness that you've brought to the planet. And that reflects in a lot of people then not actually manifesting their dream lifestyle, because they're not really loving themselves, so they're not going to really go out to the world and create the dream lifestyle they have. And that's why a lot of people work in jobs they don't really like, to buy things they don't really need. A bit crazy, yeah? But that's how a lot of people feel. And I meet a lot of these people as a healing coach who they know deep inside they're living a life which isn't authentic. They're not being who they are. They're trying to be accepted by the world. They're in a job they don't like. And they know that deep inside they're sad, unhappy, and they feel vulnerable to the world because they're not being who they are. So, in this series, I'm going to talk about different aspects of self-love as we move through the series to help you put your jigsaw of yourself together again so you can love yourself. What I'm going to do today is give you the first tip on how to love yourself. And the tip I'd like to give you today is to acknowledge yourself every day. Now I know a lot of you guys are very busy out there and you have this belief you haven't got time to do things. So let's at least for 1 minute a day. And that could be at the end of the day or in the morning, whatever suits your lifestyle. And for 1 minute a day, I'd like you to acknowledge yourself. What have you done today that you've really enjoyed about yourself? And sometimes that can be small things. It can be cleaning your house. It can be doing the dishes. They can be big things like I did a big healing session on somebody. I did a great project at work. So acknowledge yourself for you, not for anybody else, but for what you've acknowledged about yourself, for what you've done in the day. And it's amazing what you'll come up with, and it's a powerful way to actually summarise these in a book, and I call it an acknowledgement book. And you do it every day, and I did this exercise myself. Where I got up to 1,000, yeah? And sometimes when I felt low and down on myself, then I actually look at my book and acknowledge what I've actually achieved in my life, what I've actually done, and what I felt like I climbed the Himalayas, or I've done this amazing trip, or I did a great teaching project at work. So acknowledging myself, I can tell you, is a very powerful exercise which has helped a lot of my clients, and just that one exercise has changed their life. Because sometimes people are so busy and so running around doing a lot of things, they actually forget and don't acknowledge what they do. And part of that acknowledgement can also be a celebration. Like, celebrate yourself for what you've done. Yes! Great! Give yourself a big hug. Give yourself a pat on the bum for things that you've actually done during the day. So just a small celebration can be an amazing impact on your life because you're being aware of what you're doing, what you love doing, and who you are as a person. So go away and do that and see how that affects you in your life. I hope you've enjoyed this video. I appreciate that you've spent your valuable time with me. If you've liked the video, what you can do, of course, is share it with other people. Because helping other people love themselves is also important. It's about helping each other. Secondly, if you've got any questions, feel free to put them down in the space below. If you've got any comments, please feel free to share them. You can share the video on Facebook, as I said, with other people. And you can also indicate down below that you've actually liked the video. So I look forward to sharing other aspects of self-love with you. Next week's going to be an exciting one, a very powerful one. It's about how to access your inner strength so that you're not vulnerable in life. This is a very important aspect of self-love. And as we go through the series, I'm going to talk more and more about the importance of self-love, how it impacts on your life, and give you very practical, simple ways that you can love yourself in every day. Have a great week. I've really enjoyed being with you, and I look forward to being with you next week. Thank you.